authorized.
This is our 1997 LX 450, also known as an 80 series Land Cruiser. I'd like to tell you how we got this car and what we're gonna do to it, or better yet, I should say what we were gonna do to it, and the many things we've realized over the years of traveling and doing stuff to Land Cruisers. It's been a nice community to be in. There's a lot of great people out there.
It's definitely our niche. We love it. We always come back to it every time. We started traveling first in an LX, and it was awesome.
That was number one.
We slept in the back on a built-in platform and traveled all over the place, basically saw the entire West, and I think that's what got us hooked. After that, we decided we wanted a little bit more room, and stupidly...
Oh, we bought a few of them between there and now.
Sold that LX and ended up buying a cargo van, which we ended up converting, traveling in, and realizing the van life was not for us.
When you're 22 feet long, it's hard to find places to park. We'll just put it that way.
And they have to be super flat. You have to have super flat campsites. And you're not going to any of the crazy campsites that we went to that include off-roading and overlanding, which is what we really, I think, fell in love with originally with the first LX that we had.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great time. That started off the whole shebang. Yep. I mean, and it's brought us to the point of where we have this one, and we also have a 200 series. But right now, where we want to go, I think we're gonna have to say goodbye to this one.
We are, and we're really sad about it.
Which really pains me.
I'm trying not to cry.
Which really pains me to say, because this has probably been one of the nicest. It's from 1997, and it's got better paint than most cars I see on the road.
And we always get compliments on it. I mean, we literally cannot take this anywhere.
She daily drives it
without getting compliments. And there's something about driving an 80. It's a very nostalgic feeling. It's
Yes.
a classic feeling. Everything about this is what encompasses the 90s.
Yes, absolutely.
And
I remember those times.
That era and that aesthetic. A lot of us grew up with these in our families. We rode in them when our parents or our uncles drove them.
Yes.
They were definitely the reliable rig that everyone wanted to have.
So the story on this particular Land Cruiser, it was a old lady's that I guess she owned it for quite a long time.
She was the first original owner, or her husband was. It was in their family from the time it was brand new. We have a list of receipts that are in the glove box. We also got the entire story from the person who inherited it after she passed away, and which brings me to the point of why we didn't get it the first time it was on the market.
He was a Lexus technician.
And I think it had to go through probate.
We were thinking about buying it. We were talking to the fella, and he said, I'm not going to have a title for a while.
He told us originally it was going to be about 8 to 10 weeks, and it ended up being like 23 before he finally got the title. We had moved on. I think we'd had 2 cruisers.
Yes, we'd had 2 cruisers in that time of talking to this gentleman.
The reason that we've had so many cruisers is because we were looking for this cruiser. We wanted something that was rust-free. We wanted something that was a showstopper. I remember when we went to Slee in Colorado.
Yeah.
And we saw their 80.
Which, if you've never been to Slee, it's a great place. It's wonderful just to go. It's kind of like a Mecca journey.
Remember, we saw their 80 that was built. It was a cherry apple, red one that was in there, and it had been restored.
It was a 94, and she fell in love with it, and it was just like, if we get another 80, that's what we have to do.
I was like, we got to build it like this. They had like a 6-inch lift, I think, and then a body lift on it as well.
Yeah, it was running 37-inch tires.
But that was what we saw, and we thought, man, we have got to have this. That would be the most epic vehicle to travel in. Some of the reasons that we wanted an 80 to travel in is because we wanted to build it out with full power, full water, completely gut the inside, and do an electrical system like what we did in the van.
Yes. And if you're looking at a car today that's being built, like our 200 series that we have is the 2017 versus this 1997, we're talking 20 years
So many electronics.
And there's so much stuff hidden in the walls of the vehicle that just makes it, I don't know, it's hard to hide electrical stuff if you're going to build something out. It can be done, don't get me wrong.
It's just more difficult.
Yes.
And we love the amenities that both of the 200s had. Like in the 2017 that we have right now, we love the heated seats. We love the heated steering wheel. We love the power windows and door locks.
I mean, who doesn't love a good creature comfort?
We love those creature comforts. And we really loved traveling in that one and using the iCamper. Times are different now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are just aimlessly drifting through campsites. There's a lot of people that are out on BLM land that are making it their home. They're not just staying for the 14 days that they are invited to.
No, they're pulling up a fifth wheel and building themselves a deck.
And we've seen it. We basically decided that after that experience that it was time to come back and regroup. And also the backstory here is we've sold everything to travel. We sold our lake house. We've sold every single vehicle that we've owned. We were literally planning on hitting the road and doing this full time until we got tired of it. And what we learned really quickly was that without having built-in power, without having extra solar, without having a big water tank, we were not going to be able to do travel like we wanted to.
So we wanted everything like the van that we had built, but we didn't want to be in the van. And that was...
We needed a different platform.
We need a different platform.
Because we still want to be able to go to those campsites that are coveted, that you can't get to when you're in a van or when you have a pull behind.
So as I'm scrolling Facebook on Marketplace, which I love to do, and I'm sure many of you do as well, this beauty came across and started asking, I did the, hello, is this still available? And that always works, they always either give you a thumbs up or heck, they don't even answer sometimes. But this one, I started asking questions about it, and finally the gentleman gave me the VIN, and I looked at you and I said, hey, do you still have that Carfax report? Maybe we can match up the VINs and see if it's the same one.
So we did, and it was.
And sure enough, It's the exact same one.
The guy that we were originally going to buy it from, he ended up selling it.
He put a lot of work into this since he was a Lexus technician. Like
for years, he had put a lot of work into this.
He had sent me previous pictures of when he tore down the head gasket and redone that. I mean,
he replaced the motor mounts.
Replaced motor mounts, did all the knuckles. I mean, just a lot of service that it would just takes time and money, and that's what these vehicles need. I mean, every vehicle needs service, but you know, these require, if you do all the service, they'll last you forever. And he sold that to the gentleman
in Kansas City.
I
went to Kansas City, and it was an individual who was trying to start up a restaurant business. His restaurant business like took off, and he was like, I'm not going to be able to keep this as a third vehicle anymore because I've got to invest back in my business. And so the Land Cruiser went on, and the individual that we got it from, he was over in
just a little bit west of Kansas City. He had another one that was Jack to Kingdom Come.
A little rusty too.
And a little rusty, little like a trail rig.
His story was he was going to get rid of one of them, and he decided that this would be the more...
He couldn't do anything to this one either. He couldn't lift it. He was like, I can't do anything to this one because it's too nice.
He said it was the more realistic option to get rid of this one because it was so beautiful.
And I thought at the time, you know what,
whatever.
I will Frankenstein this cruiser. I will be the person that does that. Well, guess what? I am not going to be the person that Frankensteins this cruiser because, like, I feel like this should go back on the Lexus showroom floor and just hang out there
for the rest of its days.
You know,
really is a museum piece. It is absolutely pristine.
I'd say the front seat covers have been redone in its time, but everything else is just, man, it's got it.
It's just so luxurious.
It's nice,
and it gets so much attention in the right way.
And I mentioned no rust. And when I say no rust, I'm not talking about Marketplace, you know, the guy goes, no rust.
I know what I got. No rust.
I know what I got, you know.
Yeah, you could eat.
You could eat off
this.
the bottom of this thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the beauty of it because, you know, these motors leak. You know, there's nothing leaking.
Everything works.
Everything just works.
The D-light works.
I will say this. The only thing that doesn't work is the antenna because it's a manual now. It's the only thing I would say that I don't like about it.
Yeah.
But
the windows work, the seat works, the radio does work.
Windows work like they're new and they're quick. And it's cold out. I don't know if you could tell, but it's cold, but they work fast.
We're freezing.
And
high-low works.
High-low, center diff lock, you know, all that jazz works. It's just a great car.
Super dependable. I would say we would definitely feel comfortable driving this one anywhere. Out of all of the 80s that we've had,
yeah, this is our third 80.
This is the most pristine, the most beautiful, and I would say the most reliable.
And I've got a lift sitting at home in the garage. I have a coastal off-road front bumper sitting in the garage.
Those special visors too.
Yes, I've got Rosen visors. Even though these visors are fine, usually like in the last two 80s.
Usually they're droopy.
The last two 80s we had visors that were drooping down. I should have bought them for that, but I bought them for this. I don't even need them.
We really had the works planned for this, and we listened to our community and everybody that we know in person, and everybody has said the same thing. They're like, you literally cannot do something to this to destroy this beautiful piece of machinery because it is...
I mean, there's a few out there that would like to see it all jacked up, but you know, I'm one of them, but also at the same time, I just don't want to.
It's a 1997 time capsule.
Yes. But I love these cars. She loves these cars. I mean, it's been great to have a wife that loves cars just as much as I do and loves the same cars. You know, this one's got 238 on it, but you would never know it.
No.
I see ones with lower miles that look rougher. So
the paint is just so pristine. It is so nice. There's just like a couple little blemishy, nitpicky things here and there,
yeah,
but other than that,
like there's a little bit on the paint right there, like, you know. But once again, I was gonna build it out, and I said, you know, we're just gonna rip that bumper off. But we'll do a little walk around for you, and we'll just kind of let you look at it.
We'll open the doors and show you guys what it's all about. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube. That way you can see all of our updates when they come through. You can follow along with us on our journey, and you have the opportunity to purchase 2 of our beautiful rigs.
Oh, Lord.